Likewise, in badminton, I express about the badminton game. When a coach wish to train para badminton athlete, the basic start is more or less the same. There has to be a session planning in the mind of coach, and he should be well equipped with the requirements when he is going to start the basic training of badminton. As per the session planning, whatever the stroke, whatever the start he wished to make in order to train his beginner badminton athlete, he should make all such arrangements and explain the properties, the style, the stance position, and the technique to the athletes. The same way, likewise, an able bodied coach train the able bodied athlete. Likewise, in able bodied badminton, the basics of even para badminton are same when you are going to explain your drill to any of the para badminton athlete. Whether it is related with the stance position or holding of shuttlecock, holding of racket, and in case of wheelchair, the holding of wheelchair and its execution is also a very important aspect to add on. For the players who are playing full court badminton like SL4 category, SU5 category, and SS6 category, since they have the same court demarcation as in able bodied badminton, so the stance position is almost the same as we train to other athletes. But when we talk about training of athletes who are playing SL3 category or wheelchair category, there are different stance position since these athletes play half court. To make a good holding, grip, and execution of a wheelchair movement, normally if a player takes up the stance position from the front after the delivery of service, he would like to take up the grip of wheelchair from the front after the delivery of service. The reason is, when he wishes to push back, he can do it at the earliest to cover the court from the back. Similarly, if a player wishes to take up the stance position for the service from the front, he would like to hold the grip of wheelchair from the back. The reason is, he would like to cover the court from the front area at the earliest and save the time. This way, I would show few of the services where the wheelchair player would like to hold the wheelchair and execute its stroke. After you finalize the stance position for wheelchair athlete, the holding of racket, the holding of shuttlecock is very important. But at the same time, taking the grip of wheelchair and its position is also a very important aspect to demonstrate. Here we have our wheelchair athlete Abu Ubeda and our coach Manish training how to execute a service for wheelchair athlete. The racket should be gripped the same way like we used to do for able-bodied athlete, but the holding of shuttlecock could be either with the feathers or it can be around the shuttlecock. It totally depends upon the comfort zone and the ability of the wheelchair athlete to hold the shuttlecock. This way, the shuttle can be delivered, or while executing the backhand serve, Mr. Abu preferred to hold the shuttlecock with the feathers. Since the SL3 para badminton athlete play half-court badminton, therefore, the stance position is also as per the court demarcation. Here, the athlete can serve from any area within his boundary of half-court. However, the holding of racket is similar to what we used to train to able body badminton, and the holding of shuttlecock is also maybe from the feather side, or even holding the shuttlecock round with the finger. The service can be executed through backhand or even forehand, depending upon the strategy of any of the player. The coach needs to explain the player the importance of each service and also the basics how he can deliver an effective service without committing any faults. The SL4 para badminton athlete also play a full court badminton. Therefore, the stance position, the racket grip, the shuttle grip, everything remain the same while training to SL4 athletes. Here we have an SL4 athlete delivering a service, holding the shuttlecock from round, holding the shuttlecock with the feather, and delivering the service. Here again, the service faults are same as applicable to able body badminton. For SU5 players, since they play full court badminton, therefore the stance position of a SU5 player is normally the same what we used to do in able body badminton. The holding of racket is also, and its grip is also the same which we used to teach to a normal badminton athlete, and the holding of shuttlecock here too depends upon the capacity of the player, whether he can hold the shuttlecock with the fingers or even round. The shuttle can be, service can be delivered at any of the way within the comfort zone of that player. However, for SU5 athlete, there could be a limitation for the athlete to serve because of the status of hand. Here we have an athlete who don't have the fingers to hold the shuttlecock. So this athlete is using his upper limb near the elbow area to catch the shuttlecock and hold it, and then to serve from any of the stance position as decided by the athlete. It's a bit different from other athletes, but the practice makes a man perfect, and this way even SU5 athletes are professionally, perfect to deliver a correct service. Since the SH6 athlete play a full court badminton, therefore, here also the service stance position is same as the coaches used to train for able-bodied athlete. Here we have the athlete of SH6 category holding the shuttlecock with the feather and delivering a service, and even holding the shuttlecock round and delivering a service. The grip of the racket, the leg position and stance position, everything matches with the able-bodied athlete. And the same rules and bylaws pertaining to service faults are applicable to SH6 athlete as applicable to able-bodied badminton. Shuttle feeding is always an art when you train any of the badminton athlete. But training two para badminton athletes is a different art. Obviously, to get the supply, how to execute a feed, whether from hand or with the racket, is normal for every coach. But depending upon the requirement of athlete to have your application of mind, your planning, and to foresee the problem of every para badminton athlete is definitely an art. Here we have a wheelchair athlete who has already learned the basic, how to get a stance position, how to hold a wheelchair, how to hold a racket, and also a shuttlecock. Here is the time when the athlete should start learning how to execute a stroke, and a coach has to start his feeding to improve the athlete. Here, since my athlete is a beginner, so I would like to feed only one stroke and put my full attention towards the athlete, that how he is executing the stroke, whether his action, his grip, his basic stance position and his elbow position is as per technical correct rules or not. Here the athlete is in a standing position and just concentrating on the execution of drops. Once the coach observes that the athlete is learning and his strokes are technically correct, the coach can start a double feed, a 2 times feed to the athlete to let him more familiar of the strokes. And once the coach realizes that athlete is doing good, even executing 2 strokes together, the coach can start with 3 strokes, 4 strokes, 5 feeds, 6 feeds, and even a rally like this. While feeding the shuttlecock to any of the wheelchair athlete, the coach should make variation in the height and even in the speed of shuttlecock. However, since the athlete is a beginner, so he may not allow the athlete to make movements at that time. But once the coach realizes that the athlete is now good enough to execute a standing stroke, the coach can start the drill with front and back movements this way. Here, the athlete is now good enough to even execute a rally stroke, and this is the time that the coach can use different style of feeding the shuttlecocks to improve his speed, his reflection, his agility, and even fast wheelchair movements. Here we have Shashank Kumar, the wheelchair 1 WH1 athlete who wished to learn a stroke. Then after the coach is ensured that the holding of wheelchair, the holding of racket, and the holding of shuttlecock, Shashank has already learned. The next stage is to feed him the shuttlecock to learn the strokes, to learn say a simple drops. Here I would let Shashank to play simple drops. While feeding the shuttlecock, I would like to start with only one stroke. The purpose of playing one stroke is to see and ensure that the player is using the correct basic technique while executing the stroke. And this type of one stroke should start normally from standing position. But as soon as the coach realizes that the player is doing well in executing a standing stroke, the coach would give the player the opportunity to play two strokes in a continuous way. Here, as soon as the coach realizes the player is doing well, even playing two strokes, then this process can be further exceeded to 3 strokes, 4 stroke, 5 stroke, and also in a rally. And as soon as the coach realizes that the player is doing well, even in the rally, then the coach can let the player to have rally-based strokes with movements like front and back. This way, the player learn the stroke with movements, and here I can add various rallies and various strokes to let the player get the perfection of execution. Feeding is a very important art needed to be learned by every badminton coach. Even for para badminton, the feeding of shuttlecock is a very important factor. The feeding can be manual, like the coach do himself or herself, or it could be through machines. The supply of shuttlecock also can be as creative as you can. You can think over various ideas how to get the supply of shuttlecock to feed while training to athletes. But how to feed the shuttlecocks to different categories of para badminton is an art. The basics are same. The feeding of shuttlecock can be done with the racket, and also you can use your hand to feed the shuttlecock. The basics to feed the shuttlecock from the top to down to help the athlete to learn defense, or it can be even parallel to help the athlete to have fast feet, and also it can be underarm to let the athlete to attack. The feeding again can be with the racket and even with the hands. However, for the basic training for the coaches for feeding the shuttlecock, you need to apply your basic intellectual level. Here we have the beginner wheelchair athlete with us who wish to learn the strokes after he has learned the service. Here I would like this athlete to return the stroke and get perfection. Let me show you how I feed the shuttlecock to the wheelchair athlete. Like we did the hand feed, the feeding for the advanced athlete can also be done with the racket. This way. This will help the athlete to improve his defense level, and in fact, other strokes can also be implemented through this feed, like tosses, drops, and even smashes. The racket feed can also be more advanced, and you can use this feed to let the athlete improve his agility, reflexes, and even defense. A coach can be skillful and even creative in feeding the shuttlecock. The feeding of shuttlecock can be from top to bottom to improve defense. Even it can be parallel for the reflexes and agility, and it can be from down to up mean underarm, so that you can let the athlete to attack. That's a few demonstration of the feats to wheelchair athlete, like wait. Feeding from top to bottom to help the athlete to improve the defense. And let me show you the parallel feeding to the wheelchair athlete. Similarly, we can feed the shuttlecock from down to up. It means underarm feeding to let the athlete to attack. Hand feeding is always very comfortable and very convenient, since the shuttle moves slow and it helps the athlete to execute its stroke. However, the feeding can also be implemented with a racket. I'll show you how to do that. You can also let a parallel stroke to be executed through parallel feed like this. With this parallel feed, there are also an art of feeding the shuttlecock fast from down, underarm. And to feed a wheelchair athlete who is playing at a good level, it is always preferred to feed the athlete with a wheelchair. I mean, it is always desired at an advanced level that the coach himself use the wheelchair to feed the shuttles, because it will give the player the same sort of feeling which he normally gets while competing with the wheelchair athlete. And this feed also can be underarm, and similarly this feed can be parallel. And this feed even can be from the top. Feeding to the athlete can also be implemented with two coaches to help the athlete to learn fast movements, agility, reflexes, and a good defense. Here is the demonstration. This way, you can use even multiple angle for the athlete to improve whatever the stroke he is lacking behind, and you can make your session plan accordingly, dividing the days of the week as per the requirement of the athlete or the group of athletes, and plan your schedule. And by this way, you can help the athlete to become a professional one and to outperform representing your country at international level. We will discuss more on the subject intricately, one by one, the training for all categories of para badminton, and we will discuss as a whole about the subject. Stay on. Similarly, the feeding can be more advanced in case of training the players of standing category, whether of SU5, SL3, SS6 or SL4. Here, the basic style of feeding remain the same. However, we may need to be more creative while feeding the shuttlecock depending upon the level of athlete. Here, all these three type of feeding for an SU5 athlete being trained here. And similarly, we can have parallel feet. And we also can have an upper arm feed from top to down. As a coach, you can also be creative enough to help even the doubles player to get the same sort of feed to improve the skill as they normally gets in a doubles game like this. Come on. Move. Move. Hey. Again. Hey. Yeah. 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 Back. This way, the doubles player have to coordinate with each other with agility, strength, and attack to maintain their doubles player as per the feeding of coaches. As a badminton coach, you can even be more creative in terms of feeding the shuttlecock to let the player have the same feeling as he normally gets on court. And you can use these type of boxes or even the chair to feed the shuttlecock from maximum height like this. This way, you can have more punches in your stroke, and the athlete has to be more alert to defend. To train the para badminton athletes, there are no much different techniques involved. The coaches who are presently training the able body athletes or who are involved with able body badminton, they can coach the para badminton athletes with the same start that they normally used to do for training able body badminton athletes. The session planning, the requirements, the availability of basic knowledge is same when you start training the para badminton athletes. You need to let the players fall in a line and you need to explain the drill, whatever you want to execute on your training day. Whatever is your plan, there has to be a beforehand planning. ओए क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग बोलते रहो. Badminton is a developed sports and it's available everywhere in almost all part of Asian countries and even in Europe. In all the countries, there are senior players and the coaches who are training the badminton athletes. And when you need to train para badminton athletes, there is no different science involved. When you wish to start training a para badminton athlete and you wish to let them play a professional sports, you need to have the session planning as BWF has already mentioned in the modules. The session planning which you wish to implement, you need to be well aware about the requirements. You need to have all the equipments, all the things ready with you when you train your athlete. Once the players are in line, you need to explain to them about the drill which you want to train them and you wish them to execute on court. After when you explain your idea towards para badminton and the particular stroke which you want to train on that particular day, you need to let the player ask you the questions and there has to be a few minutes two-way communication where the players should be allowed to clear their doubts or confusion or any of the queries which they have in relation with para badminton stroke or a particular drill. And here comes the stage of demonstration, because what you learn is more depend upon what you see. So the coach has to demonstrate the drill on court to let the athletes more aware and more familiar about para badminton stroke. While explaining to the para badminton athlete, any coach must bear in mind that which category he is going to train and which stroke he is going to teach the player to execute. Likewise, in any of the explanation, the coach need to be sure that the player who are listening to him gets everything properly, whatever he wants to communicate. And after the explanation, there has to be a two-way communication, and the player should be allowed to ask their queries, their questions, or the doubts, if any they have. And here, after the explanation, the part of demonstration comes where the coach has to demonstrate the particular stroke, the stance position, or anything which he wants to take up.